Please bow your heads for the prayer for guidance to be delivered by Pastor Charles Jenkins of the Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church.
Mr. Vice President, Governor Quinn, Mayor Daley, Mayor-elect Emanuel, Clerk Mendoza, Treasurer Neely, the entire City Council, and to my entire Chicago family. It has been said, just as treasures are uncovered from the earth, so virtue appears from good deeds and wisdom appears from a pure and peaceful mind. To walk safely through the maze of human life, one needs the light of wisdom and the guidance of virtue. Hence, on this auspicious and momentous occasion, Lord, as we celebrate, we confess as one city that we need guidance. If there's going to be an economic revival and an assault on joblessness, we confess that we need guidance. If peace is going to be institched within the social fabric of our culture and our streets, we confess we need guidance. If there's going to be an educational reformation that bolsters our schools and fills our city and state colleges while halting prison enrollment, we confess we need guidance. If our energy is going to be more efficient, and if our gas prices are going to nosedive from Mount Everest, we confess we need guidance. If our healthcare system will heal our sick, both desolate, destitute, and wealthy, we confess that we need guidance. If our budgets will be balanced without tipping over programs that produce oxygen for necessary demographics, we confess that we need guidance. If opportunities will bring broad optimism, and if hunger, helplessness, and homelessness will be thrown into the furnace of wisdom and consumed by the answers of sacrifice and understanding, we confess that we need guidance. If our seniors will be served, if our children will have the opportunity to become, we confess that we need guidance. If the Chicago Bulls will defeat the Miami Heat and go on to the NBA Finals and win, we confess that we need your guidance. And Lord, we confess that if we will have your guidance, with humility, we must look up to a God whose divinity transcends our humanity to give us direction when life slaps us and paralyzes us with its complexity. We confess that we must look across to our fellow citizens who, God, you have gifted as they were born into the human family with gifts as they are answers to problems and solutions to questions. We confess that we must look out to those who will commit to contribute their heads, their hearts, and their hands to serve and strengthen our beloved Chicago. And so, Lord, today we celebrate as many but as one. As compartmentalized as we may live, and as guarded as we may sometimes be, as divided or disconnected as we may sometimes seem, we celebrate as one, Lord, because we are one city. From every person to every family, from every culture to every creed, we are one city. From every apartment to every condo, from every townhouse to every single family home, Lord, we confess we are one city. From every townhome to every single family dwelling, from every block to every neighborhood, from every neighborhood to every ward, from every zip code to every area code, Lord, we confess we are one city. We are one city that congratulates one leader who has led well. We are one city that congratulates another leader and his team as they lead us to even higher ground. Lord, we celebrate today and we confess in a spirit of unity that we are one city, a city that works, a city that lives, a city that leads. We are one city, the Windy City, a presidential city, an international city, a world-class city, a championship city, the greatest city in the world, sweet home Chicago, reaching up, reaching across, and reaching out. Mr. Mayor, we go forward together with you, praying for you, because in Chicago, we believe teamwork makes the dream work. God bless Chicago.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Clarissa Bevilacqua. The Honorable Timothy C. Evans, Chief Judge of the Circuit Court of Cook County, will now administer the oath of office to Rahm Emanuel as Mayor of the City of Chicago.
Do you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, and state your name,
I, Rahm Emanuel,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will
and that I will
faithfully discharge the duties
faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Mayor
of the office of Mayor
of the City of Chicago
of the City of Chicago
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. God be with you.
Honored guests, Mr. Vice President, Dr. Biden, Mayor Daley, Maggie Daley, members of the City Council and other elected officials, residents, and friends of Chicago. Today, more than any other time in our history, more than any other place in our country, the City of Chicago is ready for change. For all the parents who deserve a school system that expects every student to earn a diploma. For all the neighbors who deserve to walk home on safer streets. For all the taxpayers who deserve a city government that is more effective and costs less. And for all the people in the hardest working city in America who deserve a strong economy so they can find jobs or create jobs. This is your day. As your new mayor, it is an honor to fight for the change we need and a privilege to lead the city we love. We have much to do, but we should first acknowledge how far we have come. A generation ago, people were writing Chicago off as a dying city. They said our downtown was failing. Our neighborhoods were unlivable. Our schools were the worst in the nation. And our politics have become so divisive, we were referred to as Beirut on the Lake. When Richard Daley took office as mayor 22 years ago, he challenged all of us to lower our voices and to raise our sights. Chicago is a different city today than the one Mayor Daley inherited, thanks to all he did. This is a magnificent place where we gather today. It's a living symbol of that transformation. Back then, this was an abandoned rail yard. A generation later, what was once a nagging urban eyesore is now a world-class urban park. Through Mayor Daley's vision, his determination, his leadership, this place, like our city, was reborn. We are a much greater city because of the lifetime of service that Mayor Daley and First Lady Maggie Daley have given us. Nobody ever loved Chicago more or served it better than Richard Daley. Now, Mr. Mayor, and forevermore, Chicago loves you back. I have big shoes to fill, and could not have taken on this challenge without Amy, my first love, and our new First Lady. And our children, Zach, Lana, and Leah. And I want to thank my parents, who gave me the opportunity to get a good education and whose values have guided me through life. I also want to thank President Obama, who turned our nation around and who loved Chicago so much, he understood why I wanted to come home to get our city moving again.